Hi, my name is James. We're using the API offered by blockchain.com. You can see our current account balance is 4510, and we've been buying and selling. Actually, this happened without my knowledge. It's pretty amazing. We made some cash there. So this system does appear to be working, and we're going to start it. It runs in the web browser. It's a JavaScript-based algo, and as you can see now, we've got just a fill coming through there on the algo. So it places a buy order, and then when we get filled, it places a sell order for that amount, of course, as well, a target. So we just bottom it through 34161, and we've got sell orders now at, it looks like 2 different places, interestingly enough. And that is what is happening here. So we're just going to let this roll. We started the account balance at 4510, or excuse me, 4502, so it's already up since we've looked at it. But we're just going to let this run and kind of debug it as we go here. So this is the exchange, but we'll also do you the favor of showing you the API, our algo, at the same time. And what we'll do is we will put that side by side. If you just give me one moment, we'll get that going. Okay, so we've got, that's the main platform. We'll add the algo, which is right here. Okay, so that is what our algo looks like. Trying to find a good place to put it. Make sure it's still updating. I have an idea. We'll zoom in. Hopefully we can zoom in on. There we go. Okay. So let's get this. There is the algo, right? So our algo is on our website, and we're just running it straight into their API. We have the authentication key. And again, if you want to see this algo run more than $45, the quickest way for you to do that is just send some cash to the address, Bitcoin address that was provided in the URL, and that'll instantly come into the account, and you'll start seeing that trade if you think this is exciting. Obviously, I'm just doing $45 because I want to see if we can push the limits and really get up there with a nice return and watch it grow exponentially, because it will, because it's already non-stop sending orders here for us, and it will basically always have orders if there's cash available. So we're just going to be watching this, and you're not going to hear me as much, but this is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are watching our algo execute in real time now. So here we go. Thanks for joining me. Wait, what? and it doesn't have stops, so we need to build that in near term here. And it doesn't have stops, so we need to build that in near term here. Hi everybody, I see we've got a couple of people watching. My name's James. I built this algorithm, and the algorithm is built in JavaScript, as you can see in the bottom right. It's running in the browser, and the browser is basically just saying every 2 seconds, check this condition. If the condition is good, do this. Okay, so basically what's it doing? It's sending a buy order at the bid non-stop, and we do need to add some criterion to get that, a little bit more sensitive. But uh, we are buying, and then when we get filled, we add a target of $100 in terms of Bitcoin price. So if we buy at 3,000, it looks to sell at 3,100, 30,100, etc. Right now we're in 2 positions, and our account balance is at 45.05, and we have 2 open orders that will hopefully get the hopefully these open orders will get filled, but it looks like we're getting some weakness here, so we might need to do these manually, actually, unfortunately. And then we still need to program the stop in. Right now it's currently long only, pretty much. It doesn't have and it has a target, but it doesn't have a stop, so we need to get this in there. If you have any questions, let me know. But it does work. We did have a winning trade about half hour ago. So it's for sure working. We just it's buy only. We can't go short. If this was a shortable market, we would just say if the average price is down over the past 5 minutes, sell, etc. But we are long, and we have an average price of I think it was like 34,160, and we're trying to sell them at 34,200. And then after those get filled, our capital will be opened back up, and we'll be able to um, put new positions in. All these new orders are coming in and getting canceled because we don't have any capital available. But the market's breaking down, and we don't have a stop in here, so at some point we're going to need to fix that. We're going to need to fix that. If you do like this, please subscribe to the channel, like it. This is a live stream. We're going to leave this on non-stop, for the next 24 hours, so on. So, we'll just have to wait. It's an algo. It's long only, of course, so would love to see a pop and get filled here and get some range-bound market behavior. That's really the best kind of environment for this type of system, because it's not really programmed to trend follow. It just looks for quick scalps. So you can see the system is executing here via the REST API in blockchain.com, but again, we don't have any stops, so at some point I think we'll have to make a decision to exit it, and then we'll quickly whip up a stop mechanism. I'm going to conceive that mentally over the next 5 minutes as we watch this, and hopefully we can get a recovery here. Again, if you are watching this, would really appreciate if you do follow us. We're just watching this, and hopefully we can get some action. Bitcoin is breaking down, and that does make me a little bit concerned, considering we do not have stop aspect programmed yet. 3350, yeah, and once these start breaking down, they can really break down pretty quickly, unless they reversal, and then they can pop even quicker. Get these shorts. Well, there aren't any shorts except on futures maybe, but you can see the insufficient funds air coming in there. You can see that coming in on the new orders that it's trying to place. So we just have to wait and see here. Again, please subscribe to the channel. We will be doing this broadcast 24 hours a day, non-stop. It's an algo, so it doesn't have to stop. I'm just here. We do need to program stops, no pun intended, into our algo. Currently, it's only buy and target limit, which is very, very dangerous in the event that this market decides to go down. But fortunately, there's no shorts available in Bitcoin, so that really makes it very enticing to write a buy side only. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I did program this myself. So we are just waiting. If they can just start to get above the 34 again, we're going to have a really nice pop probably. Hopefully we'll get our targets at 24,236 filled, and then hopefully get some more buy orders put in so you guys can see that and watch this really come to life. Pretty exciting. It did have a profitable trade a couple minutes ago. Pretty exciting, I think. And we're just waiting, watching, and we will need to program stops in here before we go to sleep. For sure, we will program stops. How are we going to do it? We're going to do it based off of the the cancel order all. We'll cancel all orders, such as the targets, because the open balance, you can't do children orders. You can't do a stop and a target for one parent order. For example, buy parent and then the sell stop sell target children. You can't do that with this API. So we need to calculate, because we'll have to cancel the targets. You have to cancel the target open orders, and then manually, well, not manually, automated on an automated basis, place the stops. But you can't have them in there at the same time, or the account available balance for the Bitcoin doesn't it doesn't process. It will deny it. It'll say rejected. You don't have the money for that. Excuse me. So again, appreciate you joining me today. And my name is James. If you would like this, algo trading, we do this nonstop. This is the first day we're streaming our Bitcoin algo. It's based in the REST API built in JavaScript through the blockchain.com API. I did get some assistance from the senior engineer of blockchain.com on this via LinkedIn. And it's a really good API so far. It's handling all of our requests. You can see our requests in the bottom right, and their UI is in the center there. And we do have some positions. Our account balance is at 4505. This is a small balance, but we're just testing it. If it's a good algo, it's going to be fine. And again, if people want to add money to it, they have the address. They can add to it. So again, we do appreciate if you want to subscribe and let us know if you have any questions in the chat. I do monitor it right now. Bitcoin is breaking down a little bit. This is a buy side only. There's no stops. We will need to program the stops, and I know it's kind of boring to sit here and watch, when there's no trades. You'd like to see a market, an algo that trades, every 5 seconds. But the reality of it is, you can't do that with these fees. These fees are brutal. They'll take 0.08 or 0.18, depending on if you're a maker or a taker. So we just have to wait. And you can't make money in Bitcoin unless it's going up, which is another thing. Again, sideways action is really a benefit to us. So if we could just chop right around, 33.50 up to 34.50, that would be ideal for sure. And one thing that that might be beneficial is to kind of push the order. Instead of getting it at the bid, maybe go a little bit below bid, which we pretty much are doing. We're actually using the CEX bid and ask instead of the blockchain.com bid and ask, because they don't provide it in their API. It's broken. Their API actually does have some programming errors. I found a few, and I've identified some of these programming errors. I'll just name a few right now. Number one, you need to use the secret API key instead of the normal API key on all of your authorized API calls. Number two, the level 2, level 3, they do not function. Those API requests do not function, even though they are unauthenticated. They still do not function. And then, in addition, the account cancel by order API call does not work, and show all orders does not work, which would have been useful as well. We've experimented with those, so when we're trying to build our stop and target element, but they didn't provide us with the order, so we just found one call that did work, which was the account balance. And we basically said, hey, if there's a Bitcoin account balance positive, then basically put some profit-taking orders in there. It was kind of a hack, if you will, kind of building a hack of a Bitcoin algo here. And if we can just get to that profit taker at 34.236 and 276.30, we will sell automatically, and then the orders are already being submitted. As you can see, they're just getting rejected because of insufficient funds, but they will ultimately be um, getting filled in the future. So it's pretty exciting, and we're going to keep an eye on this here. And the orders really have about 1 second to get filled before they're canceled, by the way. So our orders are updated every second. And after we get out of the current position, our account balance is maxed out right now. That's why you're not seeing the ability of new positions coming in and out, is because we're maxed out. Our positions are maxed out. So we're just waiting here until we can get up to that 34 280 level, pretty much, to get both of our positions out and profits taken. And then we will be able to get more positions, and that's what I like to see. I like action, I like activity, so hopefully we can get filled up here at the 34,236 level, because I hate when we take losers. And this position actually, this algo is not possible to take a loser, in the sense that it's not programmed. It, it will sit on a position for infinity instead of taking a loser. So that's a very dangerous thing to do. But there are no shorts in the Bitcoin market, so you can assume that there's always going to be an ever increasing increase in price for the most part. These are just kind of thoughts. I should program a stop loss into here at some point. I don't know what amount I'd make it, or if I should actually not program a stop loss, but just slow down the order rate. So if we buy now, we wait another 30 minutes before we buy again, we wait another 30 minutes before we buy again. In that case, we'll just average down the cost, and then we don't actually ever need to take a loss. We'll just average down the cost, and that might be the approach we take. But in that case, we'll have to find a method of timing the orders. We have to say, okay, it's been 30 minutes since our last order, now put another one in. So we could probably just do that off of increments or sleep timer. So we do have a sleep timer in here for like 500 seconds, but I probably will put a sleep timer in here a little bit longer for this entry aspect. So let's just give it a few moments here. And if you do have any questions, again, don't hesitate to ask. I am the builder and developer of this algo, and I am always here for you guys. If you have any questions, you can email me at support@playspringcorporation.com. There's the URL right there, PlaySpring Corporation, support@playspringcorporation.com, or ibjavaapi@gmail.com. This is not in Java, but it's in JavaScript, so kind of misleading. But our algos for the futures and stocks are in Java. This is built in JavaScript. So we are waiting, and if you do have any questions, again, don't hesitate to ask. And I do see Mr. MOCRO. We'll make Mr. Macro a moderator. We've just made you a moderator due to your positive attitude. Mr. Macro says, keep up the good work, bro. We'll build BTC, hit a new path in a few hours, new all-time high, he meant to say. It's a great question, Mr. Macro. Again, you have been elected a moderator due to your positive attitude. And to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. In fact, I prefer that it doesn't make a new all-time high, because our system is range-bound trading, meaning it doesn't trend follow. It buys at the bid, and then it tries to sell at the offer, or 100 ticks higher. Basically, if we buy at 34,000, it'll try to sell at 34,100. So we actually don't want it to go to a new all-time high necessarily, because that means that we're going to be left in the dust. And Mr. Macro is a moderator again because of his positive attitude. And if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, we are trading an algo. It's buy side only, no shorts. That's not even possible here in Bitcoin. You cannot short. So it's buy side only. It buys at the bid. It places an order at the bid. And if it gets filled, it tries to take an offer out at target limit at $100 more. So you can see the algo in the bottom right hand corner. That is the algo, and it's placing orders. They're getting rejected because the account balance is maxed out. But once we get our two open orders that you can see there at 34,236.3 and 34,276.0, you'll see that our account balance will be available for new positions, and you'll start to see some orders come in at the bid and then canceled a second later if they're not filled, and then put in at the bid again, canceled if they're not filled instantly, put in at the bid and then canceled if they're not filled. And to further elaborate on the question by Mr. Macro would be, Bitcoin is interesting that there are no shorts. There are, unless you're on the futures product offered by CME Group, for example, which is a futures product which is highly leveraged and really dangerous. And I do trade futures as well, but not Bitcoin futures, but S&Ps. But Bitcoin, let's focus on Bitcoin. The spot market, you cannot short it. So that actually creates a really high incentive for higher prices. So that's a very interesting dynamic. And thank you for subscribing, whomever did. I really appreciate it. And we're just waiting. Again, we need to get up to this 34,236 level. And once we get up to that 34,236 level, it will take all our positions off as for a profit. We currently are maxed out. We can't trade anymore. We're maxed out. Our account balance is maxed out. So once we get our positions exited at 34,236, you're going to start to see a lot more order activity, and it gets a lot more entertaining to watch from a new order aspect. Right now, when you're seeing the algo behave like this, where there's no new orders, what that means is that it's already in position. And you can see on the right hand side here that we have Bitcoin value of 0.0001000020, and you can see the orders that we have are for 0.0005000010 and 0.00050010 at the prices of 34,236.30 and 34,276.30. And the algo placed those profit takers, and the way it did that, it took the bid at the time and it put $100 on top of it. So we use our bid for our entry price, and then we add $100, and that's how we get our limit price. So we got filled basically two separate times, and we have two separate limit orders accordingly. We submit all of our orders in increments of 0.0005 because that is the minimum we're allowed to submit on the blockchain API. So with that being said, we are just waiting for this position to be exited for a profit, ideally. And if we don't get a profit, again, we don't have a stop, so we'll have to make a manual change. But I want everyone here to get exposed to this algo before I start coding changes. Some of you may stick around all day. This algo, this stream will run non-stop because we again are in the middle of a algo system which doesn't need a human. So if we can just get our profit taking, you're going to see a lot more orders come through here, and it's going to be more exciting. And then after an hour or two of you guys experiencing how this algo kind of operates, what we'll do then is we will start to do a little coding changes. And actually, you know what? One thing I'm going to do right now is just add. I'm going to go ahead to our algo, and this is the code, and just want to make a quick change to the send order. Where is the sleep? We have a sleep timer somewhere. Sleep, let's see how big this is. Sleep, let's find all of our sleeps. Sleep, I'll be quick here. I know you guys don't want to see coding. Maybe some of you do, but let's just get into this. That's for the cancel order. Sleep, sleep. Okay, is this for the order send? Let's see here. No, I need to put the order send on a sleep. Okay, because it's getting out of hand. We want to get the last price. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and take this, and we will put the sleep around the orders. Okay. So, wait, is that for the sell order? That is for the sell. We need to do it for the buy. We don't want to put a sleep on the don't want to put a sleep on the sell, because then it would be, that's our profit taker. So we do not want to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this and do that. So that whole thing is on a sleep timer, and it's doing it for 1 second. 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second, so 10,000 would be 10 seconds. So let's just do 10 minutes in milliseconds. Okay, is 60,000, right? That makes sense. I should have known that, obviously. I'm just doing this real quick, and this is the last code change. I just don't want to be getting 600,000, excuse me. I just don't want to be getting a ton of orders that are coming through and maxing out our account value instantly, because then what happens is we get bad fills. We get fills like within 1 minute of each other. Oh, we're missing a syntax. Missing after argument list. What line? Let me check what line real quick. Line 134. Oh, gosh. Shoot. I think we have one too many. Yeah, we have one too many. That should fix it. I think I took one too many there. Let's just refresh the algo. You know, it's pretty incredible. Our algo runs in the console. Unexpected token. What is going on? It shouldn't be this difficult, guys. I apologize. Let me get rid of all this. Okay. So, now that should be back to normal. And we'll run the algo real quick. Again, we're going to get back to trading in just a second. Market's kind of chopping away. I just want to fix up the algo real quick. And let's go. Let's do that. Okay, so this thing right here. Oh, wow, that's a whole big thing right there. Oh, okay, if data x is not equal to 0. Okay, so, okay, that is that. So we need to come in here. Where does this end? That ends right there. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, this is an order. So we need to say sleep. Where's the sleep? Alright. So we say sleep. Okay. Sleep. Boom, 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 boom. And we say right here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And we change this to 600,000. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Save it. Refresh the algo. Be here. Finished real quick here, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is kind of not what some of you want to see, but that's how the algo works. It's a code. C console. Okay, good. It's running. There we go. So we're good. The algo's fixed, and yeah, the algo's fixed, and we should see. Let me show you what happens. So if I refresh this, it's going to get rid of all these rejected orders. Okay. So our balance is 44.75. Ouch, that's bad. But look at all this. So these are our sell orders. They're there. The algo's running, but it's sleeping. Remember, it's sleeping. Okay, so it's not going to send any orders until another, what did I say, 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes you'll see a new order come through, which we had to do that to protect us from massive drops. Because if the market just keeps dropping and we're throwing orders at the market every 6 seconds, then you're going to have some serious issues. So Mr. Macro says he only trades futures actually. I don't know if you're interested, but I see a great profit potential in Dash. Thanks for sharing that idea. I do not trade Dash, and I watched the IPO of Dash and Airbnb, and I thought they were a little steep for my taste, but you know, usually they pull back a little bit, but you know, markets are outpacing savings accounts for sure. So I think that pretty much people are looking for a place to put their cash, and that's not in a savings account just because the rate's too low. So pretty much all other asset classes are pretty much getting a nice little boost from that, and people have seen tech stocks outperform pretty much everybody and their brother. For example, Apple, Tesla, I mean, those are both tech stocks, for example, and look how much they've popped and pushed market values higher. And everybody says, well, okay, here's Uber, they're up there as well. They had an IPO, and look at their growth, and look at Snapchat coming out at $17 a couple years ago. I was a buyer of Snapchat down there at 17. I got my uncle into it, great uncle actually, and then now look at it. I think it's at 54 last checked. I sold it. Um, you know, I'm not saying that it was a good idea or anything, but I'm just telling you these tech stocks, they've been leaders and they've made a lot of people wealthy, and I think people are piling into Dash for that same reason, because it has a lot of good user base. And I think Bitcoin's an interesting thing. As you can see, I put $44 in here, and we're writing an algo for it. So that's pretty sweet. You can put $40 in and trade an algo, maybe trade a Bitcoin worth of algo on algo. Trade $30,000 on a $40 account, not at once, but over a series of order 1, order 2, order 3, order 4, for example. So that's an interesting thing, but everybody's looking for a place to put their cash. And Bitcoin's got an interesting spot because you look at some of these other governments other than the USA, they're starting to get inside of it. I think there's a nice video on YouTube about Russia and how they like to, on a fiscal basis, they're adopting. They're not necessarily integrating, but they're adopting a positive view or stance towards blockchain, in particular Bitcoin. Probably, I don't know what they're using, but um, people are looking for a place to put assets. And you could say, well, James, why don't you trade Ethereum? Why don't you trade any of these coins? And to be honest with you guys, we very well might. We're just getting, this is the first day our blockchain is, algo's been running, and we are going to keep doing it for sure. And we'll probably add more instruments here after, during maintenance period. The reason I decided to trade Bitcoin, it wasn't the fact that it went to 34,000. It was the fact that it was moving so much on a weekend and the futures markets were closed. And I was writing algos last week for CME Group products on interactive brokers. Some of our other videos for that you've probably seen, or maybe you haven't. Subscribe to the channel for more of those. But basically, the markets closed at Friday, 4:15 p.m. or whatever the instrument closes at, and you can't trade anymore. It's absurd. And then you see Bitcoin, it moves 15% in a day, and it's saying, and it says to me, well, I don't care that it went to an all-time high. I care that it moved 15% in a day on a weekend. And that's why I was attracted to Bitcoin, the fact that you can trade these things without maintenance period, without closing. And that is why I got into writing this algo. I whipped this algo up in about 24 hours. So it's already running, and it did. The last trade we had was profitable, of course, because we can't take a negative trade on this thing because there's no stop loss on it, because again the order balance is based off of limit right now. Our limit target is taking up the order balance for the stop loss. So if we're going to put a stop mechanism in here, we have to cancel the current orders, and we have to place the stops. We can't put a target and a stop, which I mentioned earlier, but it's very problematic. So it takes a kind of a new mentality when you're coding these algos, because in the futures market, in the stock market, and the future options and the stock options, you can put a bid, you can put an order in, and you can put a target, and you can put a stop, and it doesn't affect your balance. And it works all the same, but not here in Bitcoin. So we're getting so close to that 34,236.30 level, but we're just struggling to get there. But again, we didn't program a stop aspect yet, but we are waiting. In about 8 minutes we'll see a new order come through here, hopefully showing that the sleep function that we put on here for the new order is functioning properly. Again, our targets are at 34,236 and 34,276.30, and then after those get filled, we will have an available balance. So that is going to be really good. and you can see there our currency BTC balance is 0.00100002. Again, that is completely tying up all of our capital here in this algo. So we're just going to be patient, and I am here, and if I'm quiet for 5 minutes, that's normal. I am still here. Trust me, guys. This is what I do all day, nonstop. I'm in Mexico right now, in Tijuana, but I'm from the United States, and that's my primary residence. And I'm born in the Eastern time zone. I'm working on the Pacific time zone. I work for people in other countries, such as Australia. I have developers work for me in India. This algorithm was built by people by myself, but I ask questions to people that are in different countries, like India. Some of the guys work for GE, and they're coders at GE, General Electric. So there's some pretty good little tidbits of code in here, and we're just waiting to see if we can make some cash. Well, we already have, but we just want it to work. We want to see a lot of orders. We want to have a lot of success, and basically we do that by slowing down the order speed. Instead of sending an order every second, we need to space it out, and we should be seeing our first order that will get rejected because of our balance, but hopefully that shows that the sleep timer that we just added a few minutes ago is functioning properly. So again, I am here, so don't worry. I'm going to go plug my phone in and get a quick drink of water, but we are watching this algo work. It is working as we speak. I'm sorry that we're not getting more activity, but we just, our account balance is already filled up, so we're just waiting. Hopefully we can get a fill up there at 34,236, and then we will be ready to rock and have plenty of new ammunition. And this is kind of good because we do have an opportunity to test that sleep function we just added to the buy order, which basically says, hey, go to sleep for 10,000 seconds, and if you do sleep, then after you wake, do an order. Or, excuse me, 10 minutes, not 10,000 seconds. 10 minutes, it's waiting. 10 minutes in milliseconds is 600,000. See, there's the order, and it got rejected. So it tried to put an order in at 33,806. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. So it sleeps, and then it listens, and then it listens. So you see how it's putting all these orders in now? This is what we didn't want. We wanted to do one order and then wait 10 minutes. But what it did is it waited 10 minutes, then it sent this function, and then, okay, so it's getting a little bit of a pop, and I really want to slow it down. But look at how it's doing these orders: 806, 827, 828, 829, 850, 850, 852, 872, 872, 872, 872. So 872. So you can see the market just kind of pushed up there a bit, and this is the reason. But we're going to have to get a fill at that 34,236 level, so we can actually start to get some new orders. But again, I need to slow it down so we're not getting these ridiculous amounts of orders coming through. But I think this makes sense to you now. Hopefully you guys see how the algo works. But that sleep function, it didn't sleep the orders individually. It did slept the whole order function, basically, which is pretty useless. So I will have to work on that in a second, but I want to give it a moment and watch this, because I do have a feeling it's a good possibility we could get filled here on our profit taking, and then we'll see new orders come in here, and hopefully they will be open, you know, and filled, and then we can make some more money, of course, in the chop trade. So if we can just get a little bit more of a push there, just a little bit more. They did just push them up 34,000. But again, our system works off of ranges. So the more range bound we are, the better, because we buy at the bid. We put an order in at the bid. We don't buy at market. We put an order in at the bid, and then we put a target in $100 higher in terms of Bitcoin price for the target. So, and our count maxes out pretty much every time. So we will need to put a mechanism for the timing. And my laptop battery is fine, but the charger I accidentally broke. So yeah, so this is running on our server, placeprintcorporation.com/order. Don't go there. I mean, you can go there, it's just going to run the algo, but it's you'll just you'll just send more orders unnecessarily, and you'll be wasting a lot of your bandwidth on your computer. But yeah, I should probably, in the future, I'll have to put it a little more secure, but in fact, let's get rid of that right now. I trust you guys, but you know, maybe in the future we'll change the URL so people watching this don't go there. I mean, it's not a big deal at this time. It's a $40 account, but if people start sending money into this address, I did put the address at the bottom of the video, so it's possible. I really need this to stop coming out. There we go. Okay, plugged in. That's our email address. But again, this algo is just simply running in the browser. I mean, not many algos can you run in a browser. That's the beauty of Bitcoin, really. Really cool. Really, really cool. Let me check the questions. Mr. Mokro says he sees the dollars getting dumped. Well, that's not too surprising, considering all of the stimulus that's occurring and all of the expenses. Now, I think this is a little side note, but I think that the spending's fine as long as gross domestic product remains strong. But I think the market's a little concerned about that in the short term. And of course, in addition, risk appetite is quite strong, and the dollar allegedly is a safe haven. And I think that everyone is becoming a little more risk averse. They're saying, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and buy that Chinese renminbi, or let's buy that Australian dollar again. You can see the Australian dollar has been strengthening over the past month quite nicely. And even the peso, I'm in Mexico right now, and the peso is strengthened from the March weakness. The dollar was at a peak in March because of the Schmovid, and ever since then, the dollar has kind of come back down to normalcy. So let's take a look here. Why did our orders disappear? That's the really funky thing about this blockchain.com UI, is sometimes it misses the order, so I have to refresh it. That's kind of why I want to limit the amount of orders we're sending, because you can see, look, we have 2 open orders and they just disappeared. They're still there and they would be filled, but I think you get the point. They just disappeared, and it makes for a little bit of confusion. So we're really close. We're about $200 away from our target. If we can just get a nice push up there to that 34 270 level. Be in a really good position there, and just being patient. It's an algo. It does all of the positions on its own. None of this is done manually. But again, we don't have any stops, as I've mentioned. Again, please subscribe if you're enjoying this. This is non-stop live algo trading. This is robotic trading. Now look at our account balance, it's 44.71. We don't have any stops. So if we see this thing drop 1,000 points, $1,000 on the BTC, then we still are going to be holding that. That's why I wanted to sleep the buy orders every 10 minutes, so it's a little more realistic, because then we would have been buying that dip recently instead of being maxed out. And that's how we can handle losses. We'll just average in and pretty much never take a loss. I mean, it's not a good strategy. I would never say that on a futures or stock. You can never have a strategy and never take a loss, so you'll be asking for trouble. But this is Bitcoin, and this is kind of a different environment because you can't short it. Pretty much every other instrument in the world you can short except this one, and this has major attention. So I think it's feasible, especially with the amount of orders we're using. We're trading in increments of $7. So if we average in every $7, I'm guessing that if we buy 7 and we lose, 2,000 points on the Bitcoin, then we buy another 7 and we do another 2,000, we lose, and we buy another 7. It's not going to break the bank. So that's something to be factored in. But we don't have any stops in here, and we only have target orders that come in automatically. Fully automated system, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the dollar today in general is I like the dollar. I think the dollar's a good asset. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I love the dollar. I'm from the United States. I love the United States. I love the dollar. So I think it's a great currency. But there's a lot of factors that affect values, such as, is everyone afraid? Is everyone afraid of the world ending? These are factors that affect the dollar. Because if everyone's happy and not afraid, then the dollar might not be so strong because people aren't afraid. They're taking risk. They're buying the Chilean peso or something crazy like that because they're not afraid. Therefore, the dollar is going to get weaker because people aren't afraid. And then when people say, oh my God, Chile is actually an awful government to be doing business with, oh my gosh, let's go back to the dollar. That's kind of how that goes. So if you see U.S. stocks really strong, I think that the dollar is not necessarily inclined to follow that. It's kind of like a risk aversion, risk appetite trade, I think. But you can really boil a lot of things down to that. Bitcoin has a lot of every one of those. You could make an argument for Bitcoin as an inflation hedge. You could make it as a risk appetite hedge. You could say people are afraid of currency, so they buy this. I mean, you can really make the argument any way you want. I just try and let the algos do the trading. I think that's the best, to kind of make rules and let it do it. Otherwise, I'll make trades all day, and I'll make, I'll miss good trades. I had some good manual scalps today that I could have pulled out of there. That before I finished the profit-taking side of this algo, this was buying for me, but I wasn't selling quick enough. This thing was doing $100 clips in a second. It could have been some quick cash for the algo, but didn't have the profit taker. So we really bought at the top here just recently, and that right before that red drop down there, we were buying there. So we're kind of holding on with our positions, but if we do slip through 33,500, we will have to turn off the algo, and what we'll do then is we'll close the positions manually if we break 33,500. We'll close the positions, and then we're going to do a little coding. It'll take about 15 minutes, and we'll basically tell it, hey, place an order every 10 minutes. Don't place an order every second after 10 minutes, which is basically how it's coded right now. It'll be a quick change. So that's the plan. If we break 33,500, we're going to cancel the profit takers, close the positions, go back to the code, fix that sleep issue, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. Really nice that you guys are out here today. Again, my name's James. I did used to work on the trading floor actually in Chicago, so I definitely love the markets. Been around them for a long time, and this is the first day we're actually doing any Bitcoin algo trading ever. Actually, we just built the algo in about 24 hours, and we just put it on, and now it's executing. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute pleasure to meet you. I used to broadcast as well for Thinkorswim through Traders Audio. You may remember that firm, but I'm just now getting back into the broadcasting, and not affiliated with either of those firms anymore. Great firms, of course, and I've just stepped away, build my own business as far as coding and whatnot. But it's good to be here with you guys. And I know there are some people here, and this is live, and it's always enjoyable when there are people around. If you have any questions, I'll happy to answer them to the best of my ability. This is an algorithm. The best thing with trading is to keep the risk low. That's why we're practicing with $44.71. So we're just gonna have to wait and see here. And again, the plan is if they break that 3350 level, we'll be 33,500 level. We'll be closing out this position, fixing the code so it doesn't send so many orders. And then we'll put the algo back on. We're doing the best we can. As we mentioned, we found some errors in the blockchain.com API. We've sent them to their engineers. They're under review, allegedly. I did talk to one of the engineers directly on LinkedIn. He helped me get to the point we are right now with a couple good feedback points, and we're just kind of getting an algo going, and we'll make adjustments every day as we go, systematically. Not put it on, fix it immediately after 5 minutes. We got to kind of let it run and let it do its thing. But at the same time, we don't want to be getting massive risk. And even with $44, you still consider it massive risk if your entire portfolio is allocated, which is what it is now. So we are waiting. It's 34,236.30 and 34,276.30 are our two profit takers. If we can get filled on those, you will see a lot more orders coming through, and they'll stay open, and then they'll get canceled. Open, canceled, open at the bid, open at the bid, cancel, open at the bid, cancel, open at the bid, cancel. Filled. Okay, profit taker. Open at the bid. Filled. Okay, profit taker. All new orders rejected. All new orders rejected because the account's maxed out because of that timing issue. So I guess really we could fix the timing issue right now. I just am watching right now, seeing what's going on, and don't want to really distract you guys with code. I don't know how you guys feel about code. If I'm trying to keep everybody satisfied as much as possible as far as the viewership. You're looking right now at the markets, the prices, and if I open up code, you might be like, oh, why are we looking at code? But the fact is, this is an algo, so we do have to look at code at some points, but I'll try and keep it limited. But you're looking at the debugging of our code in the console of the internet browser. In the bottom right hand side is what that is. That's basically every JavaScript query that occurs is on a timer, essentially. Let me check the questions here. Really cool. All right. Yeah, the great thing about algo trading is you put it on, you go to sleep, and you wake up and you see how it performed, But right now we're just getting ready, kind of preparing for the evening. So, we already know one change we're gonna make. We're gonna slow down the order rate. But hopefully we can get filled here at that 34.20 34,200 level. Oh. Now I'm in Mexico right now, and the time is 5:10 p.m. I'm in Tijuana, just south of the U.S. border of San Diego. Seasonal trip. It's too cold in my hometown of Cincinnati. It's about maybe 30 degrees. Alright, here we go, pushing up to the 34,000 level. 34K. So again, our algo will hopefully get filled with the profit targets, and then we'll start to see more orders come in right at the bid. We're using the algo is using two different APIs. It's using the blockchain.com API for orders, and then it's using the cex.io API for the bid and the ask. We actually don't use the ask at all currently. At some point maybe we will. But the fees are too high, so even if we did get filled at the ask, we got a good bid fill and then we sold at the ask, we'd still lose money because of the fees. So yeah, hopefully when this thing gets filled, our account will shoot back up to the 45.10 level. It was as high as 45.60 at one point today. But then I was testing the algo and some orders got sent through. But you know, we're testing it on a small account value right now for a reason. But if I put the Bitcoin address in the description, for example, if somebody sent, you know, $1,000 of Bitcoin to that address, the account value would jump up, and then this system would be buying basically every second until that $1,000 was allocated, and then it would put profit targets at $1. But we're testing on a small account because it's necessary. We can't be testing on big account, or it could all be lost. I don't want to lose a lot of money on an algo, so especially if it's going to run at night when I'm sleeping, which it will tonight. It will run while I'm sleeping for sure. So that's the story here. Oh yeah, please subscribe. Alright, we're still watching this baby. Trading. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask. We do have a moderator. We have a couple moderators. Generally, if you ask a question in a positive attitude, I make you a moderator. So we're trading right now at 34,000. Our profit target's just above, you know, 200 bucks. It's not that much for Bitcoin. But we like range-bound markets with our algo. We don't want the market to go up to $6,000 or $6,000 in one day. We won't catch it. Reason being, we trade ranges. We buy the bid, we sell $100. We buy the bid, we sell $100. We buy the bid, we sell $100. Profit. And when I say dollars, I'm talking about the BTC price, not our account value. So that is our strategy. So range-bound markets are great. So again, that's why we're going to be placing the timer in increments of, you know, 10 minutes or so we can get in the dips. If there's a dip, we don't want to be buying the entire dip. We want to buy at the end of the dip or in the middle of the dip, and then buy again at the end of the dip, or buy again in the middle of the dip, you know, every 10 minutes instead of every second. It's almost a terrible strategy to buy every second. It's not even possible, not even feasible, really. So we'll see here. But we are definitely making the market tighter when our bids do come in. There's a couple times where I've seen them at the top serve as best bid. They were submitted at a less competitive time, but then they became most competitive for sure. Basically, the market came down into them. Chopping around 34,000. Again, we are algo trading here, running in the JavaScript API for blockchain.com. My name's James, former floor trader, Chicago Board of Trade, Chicago Mercantile Exchange merged with CBOT, and they moved the S&P products over to the CBOT. And I used to broadcast as well, Traders Audio and through Thinkorswim on the TD Ameritrade platform a long time ago. Actually did the FX chat, global FX chat. Some of you may remember that, any of you that did the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim chat rooms there. Talking about around 2010, 2012 era. But we are back today with an algo, and we are executing it on a small account, but it is real. It is real money. I made $44. It's not a lot, but I'll tell you what, it's a lot of beers. That's about 40 beers, right? Not that I'm an alcoholic, but if you're having a guest over, holiday party, $44 will cover quite a few drinks. So it's real money, is what I'm getting at here. It spends real, and it is real. We're not paper trading right now. This is a live algo, and as the performance grows, so will the account. That is the logic here. So if it works, it doesn't need to be a lot of money because it will become a lot of money. That's the concept here. This is a really good range trade environment that we've had right now, but our algo was not equipped to handle it because it placed the orders too quickly, too rapidly. So what we'll do, give me 1 minute. I'm going to make a quick code change. You guys are going to see it with me as I do it. Let's see. Okay, so this sleep did not work, right? Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so that didn't work. So this is the orders. So order send, right? And then this is the order end, right? All right, so yeah. This is fine. This token is going to be changed anyways because the IP address changes. So it's sending on ready state change. This is just take a quick look. All right, ready state change. I'll make this quick, guys. Don't worry. Let's define a variable up top here. We'll call this var counter equals 0. Okay. Close. All right. And we'll do if is this X or V send? Oh, that's the sell side. We're doing the buy side, which is down here. All right. So this is actually order send sell. Sell. Okay, so that's buy down here. Down here is the buy. So we have, okay, so down here if okay, right? Counter. If counter equals 0, then we'll let you do that order, right? If counter equals 0, do that order. When do we reset? After how many ticks? Counter plus. Every tick is the data X. Data X. Where are we defining data X? Because that's the tick price. Data X. Okay, so this is where we're getting data X. So we're going to come up here and we will say we'll say data x, we'll say counter plus plus, but then you say, well, that's going to give you a 0 immediately, and that's true. So what we'll say is if, okay, and then we'll do this, if counter equals or greater than or equals to let's just say 1,000 ticks, right? Maybe let's start with 100. Then we'll say, okay, counter equals 0. Then we reset it, and that'll open it up. And then I'm going to just do a quick console log, and then I'll just do a quick console log of counter, just so we can see what the counter is. And we'll do that right here, console log counter. Just say counter plus counter for order, okay? And then that's going to basically say, hey, it's been 100 times, do another order, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn off the algo, restart it. Okay. First, we're going to close this. We're going to refresh the blockchain.com page, so all of the orders are cleared that aren't working. We of course have our profit takers that are there. Okay, so the algo is ready for launching, and we want to see a little bit slower ordering activity there. Okay. Okay, so we run the algo. Let's make sure inspect console. Okay, it's working, and let's see where our counter. There it is, counter. You see that? Counter 4, 5, counter 6. So when we see that get to 100, we expect an order to come through. So basically it says, hey, after this many seconds, or this many ticks, really, this is going to be very helpful. This is going to keep us from getting overwhelmed with orders instantly. You know, instead of sending order, it's going to be like order. And that'll be better because then we'll get a different variety in our filling. We just don't want to be so extended to the current time frame. We want to have some of our capital available for the future. So the account balance is at 44.88 as we push down below 34,000 here. Again, we will be closing these positions manually at 33,500, and then we'll let this new feature, this order counter, help us stay nimble as far as exposure. So you can see our counter's at 32 now. So we're about 65 ticks away from an order that will be rejected due to the account balance. But we'll start to see after we close out these positions that we have now, this order counter will help maintain a more fluid environment for the algo. It'll be buying and then selling and then buying and selling, ideally, rather than buying. Okay, count maxed out. Now try and sell. It'll be more like a buy, wait, try to sell, didn't work, but we'll buy now. Wait, okay, we can sell that one. Got out of that one. We still have one left though that we're not making money on, but we go down. We buy again, sell a little later. Or if it's really bad, of course, we buy and we never get to sell, but at least we have a little bit of variance in our entry prices. That's basically what this counter is going to help do, is add variance into our entry price. Yeah, so of course when I run the algo it decides to stop making pushes to new highs, but it's okay, we have to be adapting to that. You can't run an algo that can't handle bad trades against you. The key is to make them smaller. I wish the minimum trade size was less than 0.005, because then we could even do smaller positions and we could have more. That's what I consider better, actually. More trades, diversification. So we're just gonna have to wait. But where's our counter? Counter is at, what was it, 65? Yep, 87. Hi, Alex.
How's it going?
I scare you?
Hi.
Sitting in the dark. We're at 91.
Huh?
I'm talking on YouTube, you know.
Don't worry.
It's 94. And when we get to 100, we want to see an order come through. Okay, 96, 97. We want to see one order, and that's it. And then wait for another 100. 99. Come on, here it is. Boom. That's what we wanted. A new order comes through, but it's rejected. We don't have the account balance for it. But that is way better. And now we go back to the 100 counts. And did you see the counter's now at 4 again? 5, 6. So way better. And if we want to slow the trades down, all we have to do is put that, instead of being 100, we say, hey, make it 200 or 1,000, you know, depending on how slow you want to move. And that is how you keep your account balance available, and you can buy and get more exposure at different prices. I'm really more concerned about getting, I'm not so much worried about missing a big move higher. I'm more so worried about catching a big move lower. That's what I'm worried about. I'm more worried about losing than I am about winning. Because if I can build a system that doesn't lose, that's the most important thing. Then we can critique it and extract the great profits from it. For example, I think that the $100 profit target might be a little too small. We might want to push it out to like 200 or 300. Maybe, somewhere in the middle there. But we'll see here. We're kind of caught in a rut here, because we ran it but without this counter protector in there. But you can see that order is rejected. And that's an algo order that got rejected because we don't have the available balance yet. Wait till our trades get closed out, either at the profit target or at the 33,500 level. That's our stop we'll use, and then we'll just rerun the algo and you'll see how it works. Again, the current positions exist without being they exist without the the waiter, if you will. They exist without the pause and wait. They just filled everything instantly. They basically maxed out the account value instantly. So the order count is at 55 now. So we're about halfway there till a new order comes through, which will get rejected, of course, because we don't have the available balance. Happy to answer any questions. I think everyone understands this. I think everybody just wants to see it work and, get into the long run of it and see how it operates over a year. But I'm going to run this non-stop, guys. Well, as much as I can. Eventually I'm going to run it in the shell and run it on the back end of a server, so I don't even need to look at it, it just runs. But I need to critique the code. And then, of course, we'll get back into the algo futures trading as well in the future. So here we are, still waiting. We've already made one great improvement while we've been together here. I just cranked the microphone just a little bit there for you, in case you're wondering if that got louder. I did just a little bit. So the counter is at about, what is it now? 92. So you're going to see another order come through but it's going to get rejected, of course. But this is the kind of environment that we like, this range-bound trade. And we lost a lot of opportunity because we got filled too quickly due to coding. We didn't really have it fully built yet when we started streaming. So there's an order, rejected. Now the count is back to 0, now 1. So we can say with a good degree of certainty that our order counter for the buy side is working properly. Now I do wonder how it's going to affect our targets. There might be some bugs that come about here, but we'll find them out quickly. Count at 44.88. We started at 45.10. So we're down about 0.2%. And that's how you think about it in terms of percent. Because then we can apply it. It doesn't matter if it's $1 million or $1 billion. It's all about the percent. Counter order is at 23, so about 80 ticks away from a new order. Love to see this fill come through so we can get a more fluid kind of environment here. And just to drive the point home, with their APIs, this is their API, right? Look at the mistakes that their APIs have. This is all unauthenticated. Level 2, try it out, execute. And then look at this, internal server error. This is their algo. I mean, this is their thing. Let's even log out. You don't need an authentication. Execute. Look, internal server error. So, I mean, I've had to build workarounds. Okay, so we're probably going to have to take a unknown user. Not sure what that means. Our IP address change? No. No, it's still fine. But 33500, that is the spot. Got a bad feeling about this. Probably going to have to manually get them out. Again, we don't want to be doing anything manually, but our orders were haphazardly entered. So let's see if this 33,500 can hold. Coming down into it. And if it doesn't hold, what we're going to do, it's no big deal. We're going to cancel our orders. We're going to close the positions, and then we're going to turn the algo back on and watch it run. And watch it run with a new counter method, which is going to help keep some account balance available. I got a feeling they're going to try and break this 33,500. They are. I mean, they're about to do it now. They're already offering at 597 offer. I just saw a 570 offer. So unless somebody starts swooping them up here, Bitcoin is more notorious for fear of missing out than they are for short squeezes because there's no shorting available. But you see that buy order just came through at that 5,046, excuse me, 33,546. But it was rejected because we don't have account balance. But again, if we break this 33,500, we will close the two positions out and then reset the algo because again, those positions weren't made with the counter. 1 second. Guys, we are in the position still. We're just waiting for it to either break the 35 or get back above 42. You'll have limited conversation for the next couple minutes. Alright guys, still limited conversation, but we are still having the algo run, but there's no available balance because those two positions are still in. 3350 is holding support. We've got that target at 34,200 in order to open up the account balance again. Hopefully we can get some action above that 34,200 level soon. Standing by. So these are prime conditions for our algo, but we have no account balance available for this as it's already fully allocated, standing by. Promise this counter that we've added will help add to the activity that this algo experiences. In the past, we were just allocating everything instantly. Now we have a method of timing it and waiting before we send the next order, 100 ticks, for example. We're just standing by waiting for this position that we're in currently to be exited for. Profit or loss, it really doesn't matter. We just need the available balance to open back up. Looks like we're pushing up into that 34,000 level again. If we can just get through that 34,200, we'll be within range of our profit taker, which would be ideal, of course. And we'll start to see way more activity with the new method we have. Don't forget to subscribe. We're standing by waiting for this breakout. One of the great things about Bitcoin is the lack of liquidity at certain times can create massive movements of volatility. Just want to draw your attention up here to this offer. Notice the offer up here at 34,130 or so. It keeps changing. Remember, ours is at 34,236 and 34,276. It'd be great. We actually just saw our offer flash up here. So that's actually really good. That's showing that the market's getting much closer to our target. And we just need to get through all of this up here, these resistance levels, these orders here. There's quite a bit. There's about quite a bit. There's several $100,000 worth of supply waiting up there. But again, after we get through these orders, we're going to see a lot different behavior from our order flow. It should be more continuous. These were the perfect conditions for our algo had they been prepared properly with the counter that we implemented about 30 minutes ago. The counter that we added basically limits the quantity of trades that occur within a given period of time. In the past, it was way too frequent. It was ultimately every second, but we have ultimately limited it now to every 100 ticks. Every new price is 100 new prices updated. And we are still waiting. We just need to get through 34.2, and they failed to get through 33.5, thankfully. So we're just waiting. And after we can get these available balance increased again, we will be in a very good position to further explore the capabilities of this system. Seeing a mild degree of accumulation here. We're now back into the 3,400 offer. You can see it's right there, 33,999. I meant 34,000, not 100, but we are super close. Somebody's offering about $15,000 worth right at that 33.99. So, a decent size there. Looks like they came back down off it. A little bit of resistance, 34,000. See if they can poke their head above it. Might be able to get to that 34.2 level that we're hoping for. thankfully we're able to get back above that 34,000 level, but we really don't have much use for it unless it can make it the distance of the 236.3 up there. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen here, but we have to wait patiently. After we do exit, we will have a lot more activity in the order flow. For those that are just joining us, we are using an algo trading system we've just built in about 24 hours that is in the language of JavaScript using blockchain.com API. We have a position currently that's tied up all of our account balance. We need to get out of it, but we can't do it without getting to 34,236, that is. And then we'll see some more continuous order flow as we have made an update to somewhat preserve the capital over a better period of time frame rather than instantly. So we continue to wait here for this 34,236. We've been waiting patiently for about 3 hours now, 2.5 hours approximately. So it would be great to get out of this so we can move on and look at some new issues and build new features to make this better. So here we are bidding 34,089 and we've got an offer 34,103. So we are seeing a little bit of strength. We just need to get up through this 34,236 level, and then we will have some capital for our next positions, and we'll explain, of course, as that occurs. just moved the debugger on the left side of the screen as it was displaying a lot of unnecessary white space. We are looking still for that 34,276 area so we can clear out these positions and watch the system on an automated basis establish a new bid, a new offer. Unfortunately, really struggling to get any momentum above this 34,000 level. Continuing to chop here at 34,000. Really need to get at that push, but not much we can do. Just have to wait. We are standing by. So luckily the audio for the fills will come through the system here, if we can make it up to that 34,276 level. Getting closer and closer, but still not quite there yet. Got another 130 points to go. And then of course the system will be behaving in a slightly different fashion, as we have put a gate on to protect the available balance from being allocated instantly. Instead, it will be more fluid and occur over a longer duration of time. Additionally, I'm going to make one minor change to the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen, and instead of the target being 100, we're going to make it I think it's 115 actually currently. So we take the bid plus 115. We're going to set it to just a little bit more, I think about 150. I think that's a little bit better. With all the amount of risk that we just took on, actually we could probably do, I want to put a little more, but let's take it easy. We'll go with 150 and we'll restart the algorithm real quick. You know, we did take on about 200 points of risk there. Excuse me, we took on about 700 points of risk when it dropped into that 500 level. So 100 points, that means you'd have to have 5 winners to make up for 1 loss, and frankly you're going to see losses bigger than 500. So we need to have that factored in. Again, we don't have stop losses. We do not have that feature built in yet. That will be something we do after about another few hours of testing. Again, we continue to wait for the automated system to be able to fill new orders after the available balance is replenished, should our current positions finally be able to take profits at 34,276. Otherwise, we will exit manually if they break the 3350 level, 33,500. And we will have to build a stop aspect in again shortly. So standing by here, hopefully good news. very clear rejection of that 34,200 level, and we're still waiting for a trigger. We have to just sit through it. Again, the system was not qualified for, it's better adjusted now than it was when we started it about 2 hours ago. We've added a gate to protect massive order flow at the same price. Essentially, we've slowed it down and basically added variance. And once we do eventually get available balance, we'll start to see that come in here. I do see we have some new listeners here. Thanks for joining us. My name's James. If you do like what you're watching here, make sure you subscribe. We're watching an algorithm here execute itself, automated basis, 100% automated. And currently we're in positions and the account balance is maxed out, so we're not getting any new positions. But you'll see in the future, after this cycle is closed out of trades, you'll see more fluidity and more variance in orders coming through and filled. Currently all the new orders are getting rejected, as you can see on your screen there. In the status column you see open, open, rejected, rejected. That's again as a result of the account balance, and this is expected, and it's somewhat of a safeguard as well, because we're not getting over leveraged here or anything like that. So here we are with an account balance of 44.97 and chopping up around here, 34,000. Our account balance was starting here at 45.10, and it had been as high as 45.60 today, 45.60, and it started out at 49, so it's down. And that's not from the algorithm. The algo just started at 45.10. So it had one profitable trade actually before this, and then it got bogged down around the 34,160 level. It started getting filled, but again, you'll see more variance here. And we just have to sit tight. We need to get a fill up there at the 34,236 area where our stop is, as you can see here, at the 76 and 73 level. And once we get those taken care of, you'll start to see more of a one in, one out, one in, one out. Ideally, that's what we want to see, rather than a two in, sit for 3 hours and then hopefully get a profit. But we'll see here. We're just sitting tight, chopping it up around 34,000. Please subscribe, and we are running this algo non-stop on the server. We're just debugging it right now and live testing it, of course. And just a reminder, this is real capital and this is real time, so that's the best way to test things, is in real life. brutally choppy trade here at 34,000. Trying to push above 34,000 yet again. 34,062's trade. Just slipped below 34,000 again. Then we're back above. So very choppy trade, which is good for the system actually, but it's unable to capitalize on this chop trade due to the prior coding that didn't have a gate on the order flow. Now we have that, so we're waiting here. Our account balance is 44.97. Chopping up here, just above 34,000. We need to get to that 34,270 level, and we'll start to see some good order flow variance. But we're not going to necessarily prematurely exit for any reason now. We're already letting the system run, but we're just gonna let it run. And even though we have made adjustments, we're still gonna let this run unless we start to see a major failure at the 33,500, which fortunately we're not close to right now. We're about 560 points above it, but anything can happen, including filling our target. Of course, we're actually closer to the target at this point than we are the danger zone, in fact. So we're standing by here. Let's see. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the Algo Trader that we've built here and that are running on an automated basis entirely, with the exception of our current failsafe need in the event that it exists due to the lack of a stop, which will be programmed later. If you have any questions, do let me know. Follow us and ask any questions in the chat area. $34,100's trade, almost there. Another 150 points to go. 34,052's trade. So the blue bid you're seeing, the blue price in the debugger you're seeing is a bid, and then the data X is the last. In case you're seeing that in the debugger, wondering what that is. The blue is the bid. So really you need to see the bid get above that 270 level for a good fill. Trying to push up a little bit right now. Let's see if they can make it that distance to the 34,270. Very choppy trade here. 34,183 is the last. Continue to wait patiently. Trading now 34,025, so chopping up around 34,000 still. Still chopping it up, 34,127. As I've said many times, these are great conditions for the system as it's choppy, which we want but unfortunately the system's already maxed out on its positions. So we're waiting for a new cycle to begin after we close these out. I have no doubt this will probably do quite well once we are able to get into a cycle of more variance order flows. We're so close to getting through that 34.2 level. And some of you might wonder, well, if we get filled up there, won't the market probably keep going? And the answer is probably will, actually, but our system isn't trend following, it's more of a channeling system. So uh, let's hopefully we can get filled and get some more quick scalps in there. We're just waiting to get filled. Been stuck in this below 3420, 34,200 I mean. We're seeing a little bit of a rejection again for that 34,200 level, which I'm not surprised necessarily, but it's just the nature of the beast. Again, I said this was a good range trading system. This would be prime conditions for our system if we weren't locked down already. So we just have to be patient. Hopefully, we can get through this 34,200 level. Nothing we can do, guys. Just have to be patient here. Either we get through the profit target of 34,200, or we're gonna manually reset the system and positions at 33,500 because we've made some algorithm changes, and accordingly, this system will behave differently, ideally better. Something I want to mention is the S&P 500. Kind of a side note. This is the first time we've really pulled up a chart for it, but as you can see, the S&Ps are under a little bit of pressure right now. Futures are at 3,693. They're at the 3-hour low. Now, you might wonder what the correlation is to the Bitcoin, but let's look at the hourly so we can get a better sense. The past 3 hours of Bitcoin have been pretty much slightly lower to choppy, around this 34,000. So it is notable that as the S&Ps break down, we kind of see a little bit of reluctance on the Bitcoin product. So waiting patiently here, guys. Not much we can do without the market giving us an available balance back. Sorry, I did experiment with the layout and the volume a little bit. I hope I didn't scare anybody away there. But I think the layout is currently optimized, and the volume should be good as well. Really struggling to get that position filled out. And I know everybody's been here for a long time. For 3 hours we've basically been sitting on these positions, and I know I called it an algo, but sometimes you just gotta be patient. But with that recent failure, it's not looking good. Looks like they could dip a bit. this is an interesting thing that I've just really thought about. It's a spread between the euro and the euro and the Bitcoin, and this is really good. Or, excuse me, Ethereum and the Bitcoin. And really, if you look at the euro, BTC euro, $27,600. Wow. We can trade all of these with an algo. That's what's sweet. Wow, so choppy, man. It's brutal. Super brutal. Of course.